Nick Aldis leads a faction against Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. WWE Raw Rumored Plans. Damian Priest finally loses his Money in the Bank briefcase. The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WWE WrestleMania 40. WWE Superstar is obsessed with Jade Cardel. Sasha Banks reunites with former WWE stablemates. Cody Rhodes attacks Randy Orton out of personal anger. Top star turns heel to cost Jay Uso against Gunther. Let's dive right into it. WWE Raw Rumored Plans. WWE Monday Night Raw will be airing live on the USA Network later tonight. This big show is actually set to feature a small crowd, at least by recent standards. According to WrestleTix, less than 6,000 tickets have been sold for tonight's show at the Simmons Bank Arena in Little Rock, Arkansas. While the crowd will be significantly smaller than most you see on Raw and SmackDown each week, fans are still in for an exciting show. Several matches and segments have been confirmed for the Red Brand's latest episode. The Judgment Day stars will be in 2 tag team matches with Finn Balor and Damian Priest battling the Awesome Truth, and the duo of Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough taking on DIY. Additionally, Seth Rollins will defend the World Heavyweight Championship. Lastly, Gunther and Cody Rhodes will both appear. While several major matches are being promoted for the show, there may still be some big surprises that catch fans off guard. This piece will look at a handful of possible shockers that could take place on Monday Night Raw this week. Here are 4 surprises rumored to take place on WWE Raw. Number 4. Jinder Mahal could win the World Heavyweight Championship. As noted, Seth Rollins is set to defend the coveted World Heavyweight Championship on Monday Night Raw. The Visionary will go one-on-one with one of WWE's most controversial and oftentimes despised stars, Jinder Mahal. This bout was made after an in-ring confrontation the pair had last week. The former WWE champions had a verbal back and forth before the segment broke out into action. Jinder was sent reeling, but Seth is up to defend his coveted prize yet again. This continues his theme of being a fighting champion. While most fans are writing Jinder off, there could be a major surprise on Raw. The Maharaja could shock the world by winning a world title for the second time in his career by pinning Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring. Nobody will see this twist coming. Number 3. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes could go face-to-face in a surprise clash of babyfaces. Cody Rhodes is set to kick off WWE Monday Night Raw. While fans are always excited to see or hear from the American Nightmare, this segment is intriguing. What exactly will Cody say? There's no real clue what his intentions are. An interesting twist could be to have Cody immediately interrupted by CM Punk. The 2 popular baby faces could then proceed to have a verbal spat that may even get physical if they take enough shocking underhanded verbal shots at each other ahead of their participation in the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match. Due to both men being popular baby faces, most fans wouldn't expect them to have a verbal debate of any kind. Factor in their friendly behavior on a recent episode of SmackDown, and the 2 going into a war of words would really catch fans off guard. Number 2. Andrade El Idolo could return to WWE. Andrade El Idolo is one of the most talented free agents in the world. The former WWE United States champion was part of Tony Khan's All Elite Wrestling for several years, despite speculation often alluding to his desire to leave the company once Triple H took control of World Wrestling Entertainment's creative direction. The former NXT champion's speculated wishes may be too close to being realized as he became a free agent at the start of 2024. This led to many assuming he would instantly return to WWE, but, at least as of now, this hasn't been the case. Still, his return feels likely and it could realistically happen at any time. This includes on Monday Night Raw, where the talented performer could debut as a mystery opponent, challenge Gunther, or even enter himself in the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match. Number 1. Damian Priest could cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. The biggest question mark in WWE today may be the Money in the Bank briefcase. The latter match features the coveted briefcase hanging over the ring. Whichever superstar pulls the briefcase down wins the match. The concept was first introduced back in 2005. Whoever holds the Money in the Bank briefcase has a guaranteed title opportunity for up to 1 year. Damian Priest currently holds the men's Money in the Bank briefcase, winning the prize contract last year in London. Monday Night Raw could be when Damian Priest finally successfully cashes in and wins a world title in WWE. He could either use it on Seth Rollins, or if Jinder Mahal shocks the world, Priest could immediately cash in on the Canadian star. Damian Priest finally loses his Money in the Bank briefcase. Damian Priest won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match last year and has since tried to cash in his contract multiple times. However, he has consistently failed his attempts, raising questions about his future as an MITB holder. The Archer of Infamy recently tried to cash in his contract after Seth Rollins vs. Drew McIntyre on Raw, Day 1. The Scottish Warrior stalked him with a vicious claymore. He previously prevented Priest from cashing in by not allowing Dominic Mysterio to take the briefcase to the match referee. On the upcoming episode of Raw, Seth Rollins will go up against Jinder Mahal with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Damian Priest might plan on cashing in tonight, considering he has a few more months until the contract expires. Unfortunately for the Judgment Day member, Drew McIntyre could throw a spanner in his plans by stopping the cash-in and taking the briefcase from Priest altogether. The Archer of Infamy is currently using the customized purple MITB briefcase that JD McDonough presented to him. The original case still exists in the Judgment Day's locker room. Considering Rhea Ripley has been inclined towards recruiting Drew McIntyre to the faction, she could betray Priest by sneakily transferring the contract from the purple briefcase to the green one. The potential scenario would allow the Scottish Warrior to show up during the match with the original contract. On the other hand, the Archer of Infamy might be shocked to discover that his purple case wasn't the real deal. Amid the chaos, McIntyre could cash in on World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins after the latter's match against Mahal. Damian Priest and Finn Balor are the current undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. However, the Archer of Infamy can excel as a singles champion, and Vince Russo believes WWE is not using him to his full potential. By having all this nonsense, what they're really missing is a Damian Priest being a huge star. Damian Priest on his own could be a huge star. He could be right up there in the mix with everybody else, but the fact that he is in this little group, they got their clubhouse, and now they got Rhea Ripley acting like a clown. Oh my god, bro. They're killing him because nobody else in this group matters. Tommaso Ciampa recently defeated Finn Balor, taking DIY one step closer to the tag team titles. It will be interesting to see if they can eventually dethrone the Judgment Day. The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WWE WrestleMania 40. While The Undertaker retired in 2020, a legend believes that he could still face Brock Lesnar at WWE WrestleMania this year for one last trip. The Deadman is considered one of the greatest names to put his foot in the pro wrestling business, owing to his exceptional character work and in-ring skills. His contribution and work led to him being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2022. Speaking about recent rumors of The Undertaker potentially coming back for another match, Bill Apter shared his thoughts on Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis. There have been reports recently about maybe The Undertaker is ready for one last trip. In the event he is ready for one last trip, he needs to avenge that lose that he had against Brock Lesnar. And what better place? I am not talking about the Royal Rumble. I am talking about what better place than WrestleMania for The Undertaker to make one last match against Brock Lesnar. According to Teddy Long, a match between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar could be brought to fruition if set up well. On the same episode of Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis, the WWE Hall of Famer stated, "I think that's a good idea, but I think we are too close. I think that with that story there you need to build that a little bit. You need to take some time with it because you've got to go back in time a little bit explaining to the fans how all of this began. Whether the Deadman would consider coming back for another match is something only time will tell." WWE Superstar is obsessed with Jade Cardel. WWE star Maxine Dupri took to social media to react to a newly uploaded photo of Jade Cardel. After departing AEW, Cardel jumped ship to WWE and officially signed with the Stanford-based promotion in 2023. However, she is yet to make her official in-ring debut for the company. On Instagram, Cardel's photo caught the attention of Raw Superstar and Alpha Academy member Dupri. Obsessed, wrote Dupre. Apart from training at the WWE Performance Center, Jade Cardel has also been training at the Dungeon. Speaking in an interview with TMZ Sports, Natalya praised Cardel and explained how she approached the WWE veteran. Natalya said, "With Jade, she said, 'Hey, I would love to come and work with you.' I was like, oh my god, I would love that. I love her enthusiasm. I love how excited she's about jumping into this. I know she's gone through a lot. Her mom just passed away recently, so it's a very hard time for her in her life. Sometimes you need somebody to believe in you. I believe in Jade. I think she's going to be awesome." She added that in 2024, WWE will witness a new era for women's wrestling. Natalya added, "2024, the way the women are being used right now. And the track we're about to be on for 2024, starting with the Royal Rumble. We're going to see a whole new era of women's wrestling that is going to blow everybody away." Cardel is a former TBS champion and was undefeated for the majority of her time at AEW. She could potentially make her WWE debut at the upcoming Women's Royal Rumble match. Are you excited about Cardel's WWE run? Sasha Banks reunites with former WWE stablemates. Mercedes Moné took to social media to send a message to WWE star and Anoa'i family member Tamina Snuka. Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, is a former member of Team Bad. The faction also included Tamina and Naomi, also known as Trinity Fatu. Taking to Twitter/X, Moné shared a photo alongside her former Team Bad stablemates and also wished Tamina on her birthday. Team Bad made its debut in 2015 as part of the women's revolution in WWE. At the same time, the trio of Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Paige also made its debut as a faction. Moné is currently sidelined due to an injury. Following her WWE departure in 2022, she appeared in New Japan Pro Wrestling and World Wonder Ring Stardom. Meanwhile, Tamina's last match in WWE was almost a year ago. Lastly, Trinity has been competing in Impact Wrestling. She recently lost the Knockouts Championship to Jordynne Grace. Bill Apter has expressed his interest in a dream match between Mercedes Moné and Jade Cardel. In 2023, Cardel signed with WWE. Meanwhile, reports have suggested that Moné could potentially return to the Stanford-based company. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's unscripted show, Apter stated that he would love to see Moné back in WWE. He said, "Well, Miss Moné, we don't know yet if she's going to come back to WWE. She might sign with AEW or Ring of Honor, but I'd love to see her back in WWE. If Jade Cardel, who has said just wait, we're planning things around me that are going to be really a gem and successful. I think a match against Sasha Banks would be in the cards. I think it would be magnificent. It remains to be seen what the future has in store for Moné, and whether she returns to WWE or signs with AEW. Do you think we'll see Mercedes Moné return to WWE?" Cody Rhodes attacks Randy Orton out of personal anger. WWE's current dilemma regarding Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania 40 has been well documented. Is the perfect choice to face Roman Reigns and dethrone him at the show of shows, but that might not happen. The Rock's WWE return may force the American Nightmare to prolong his story and do something else at WrestleMania 40, while the Great One challenges Reigns instead. If this happens, Rhodes has the perfect alternative opponent. Randy Orton has constantly been mentioned as the best choice, other than Roman Reigns, to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. However, one twist the fans won't see coming is a heel turn from the former AEW star. This would shock many, especially as he has been portrayed as the ultimate babyface since his WWE return in 2022. It would make sense to take Cody's potential real-life frustration at being replaced by The Rock and turn it into an angle. He can channel those feelings by attacking a close friend, another beloved WWE superstar. Orton's popularity may ensure he himself never turns heel again, but he could play a part in the American Nightmare's villain arc. A heel turn in itself is an unlikely prospect for Cody Rhodes. But if it does happen, it probably won't stick much longer. After winning his feud against Randy Orton, the 6-time tag team champion would see the light once again and continue to find his way towards Roman Reigns. It would be an immense piece of character development for Rhodes, who will have gone through several emotions during 2024. This touch of madness would make his victory over the tribal chief even sweeter, while keeping him fresh as a babyface for his eventual title reign. As is the case with most epic stories, the protagonist needs to hit rock bottom to truly make the happy ending worth it. Whether later in the year or directly at WrestleMania 41, Cody's time will come. One way or another, he will finish the story. When will Cody Rhodes dethrone Roman Reigns? WrestleMania 40, 41, or in between? Top star turns heel to cost Jay Uso against Gunther. Gunther will make his much-awaited return on WWE Raw tonight, and Jay Uso should be present too. The Ring General has been away from WWE TV following the birth of his son, but the Intercontinental Champion is ready to take on his next rival. Speaking of his next rival, there's a high chance that Uso will step up to him. Recently, Uso has been tangled with the Imperium when he defeated Ludwig Kaiser. Furthermore, Uso and Kofi Kingston teamed up to take on Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. Unfortunately, the match was halted after Kingston accidentally injured Vinci. In last week's episode, Ludwig Kaiser took on Kofi Kingston and brutally assaulted him. Jay was nowhere around to save Kingston the way Kingston had shown up for main event Jay previously. With Gunther returning and possibly taking on Uso, Kofi Kingston could turn heel and cost Jay the victory as revenge. Kofi Kingston was brutally assaulted by Kaiser, to the point that Kaiser didn't even think about victory. He kept assaulting Kingston, and the match ended with a double countout. Kingston could unload his frustration of last week's brutal assault on Uso and help Gunther secure the victory when he takes on Uso in an act of revenge. As mentioned above, main event Jay took on Ludwig Kaiser in a singles match previously on Monday Night Raw. It's possible Uso couldn't have won the match had Kofi Kingston not showed up to stop Giovanni Vinci from helping Kaiser. However, even after the victory, Bill Apter believed the performance wasn't what one expects from main event Jay. I don't see that. When Jey Uso was on Raw last night, it was a good match. But main event Jey Uso, to me, did not seem like main event Jey Uso. He got murdered in a lot of that match. He really did. I don't see him as a choice for the Rumble. Currently, main event Jay has not been announced for Royal Rumble 2024 men's match. WWE Raw tonight could contain the answers to these issues. Nick Aldis leads a faction against Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Nick Aldis has been involved in some big segments since becoming the general manager of WWE SmackDown. Fans want to see him lead a returning faction that can take over the company. Aldis has been featured regularly on SmackDown since taking over as the general manager of the brand. He has been involved in some top segments, including ones with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Before joining WWE, Nick Aldis was a top name in TNA, Impact Wrestling, and NWA. He held the world title of the company for some time and was seen as a top performer before he departed to join the Stanford-based wrestling promotion. A fan took to Twitter to pitch that Butch, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate should join a returning William Regal to reform the British strong-style faction. Other fans seem to like the idea, with many stating that some other stars could join the group. Fans are waiting for the former world champion to return to the ring to lead a faction in WWE. Many fans want William Regal's son to be part of the group. The faction makes a lot of sense to many fans. Fans want to see an international faction thrive in WWE. The idea would work even better with more tag team titles on the line. The company could split the undisputed tag team championship soon. Nick Aldis could return to the ring to join the faction and make it even bigger. He is a top British wrestler who would fit right in with Butch and Bate. His current rivalry against the Bloodline could lead to his in-ring return, which would require him to get some backup. The SmackDown general manager doesn't seem afraid to do the right thing for the brand. He's been getting in Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman's faces in recent weeks, and the rivalry between the two sides keeps getting better. Aldis has booked a fatal four-way match for the Tribal Chief to defend his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. He made the decisions after Reigns and the Bloodline ruined a triple threat match between AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. Nick Aldis could continue to get under Roman Reigns' skin following WrestleMania. It could lead to the general manager's in-ring return, and he could go head-to-head with the Tribal Chief after he loses the title. Do you want Nick Aldis to drop his authority role to get back in the ring? Sound off in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted.